Hi, I am one of the people that would have taken their lives. And my message, from everyone that has taken their lives to people that don't understand that is you don't have a right to tell them that it wasn't their time to go. I mean, some of us just get so physically and emotionally exhausted that you really just can't tell people how they feel. And I don't think it's fair that we have a culture that judges people that leave, because that's part of the problem, that they're leaving because we're judging them. I mean, essentially, it's like you're kind of asking them to leave, but then you don't understand why they're leaving. And I just feel like more people need to be like open about their pains, because that's part of why people go, is they don't feel like they're allowed to feel the pain that they're feeling. And when your heart breaks, it's been scientifically studied that it actually does fracture your heart. Oh, I like when that changes colors. I don't know what all the moods mean, but it's been fun to wear something like that. Suicide is something that people don't want to think about, because it reminds us that we are tired and alone. And I mean, we really are alone, and we're together while, at the same time. I just think that it's fair to say, well, you know how alone you felt before. And so if other people feel that way, and, in that time they decide to go, you don't have a right to tell that person that they can't leave when they're ready to go, and that's their choice. And I'm not telling people to, go to leave. I'm not saying that, because if it weren't for all the things that I've learned just by kind of like hanging in there when I didn't want to, I wouldn't have been able to get to the understanding that I have now of suicide and the emotional pain that people go through is mostly just because you feel alone. And what I'm trying to say is that they're valid for thinking that, because technically that's true. And that's something that people just don't want to look at and face. So it just keeps like being covered with a mask of pretending that you're strong and that you don't have emotions. And somehow that's equal to being a strong person. But like, we're really, everyone is sensitive, and that's going to come out in different ways to pretend that we're not sensitive. And in some ways, it's just people that leave are convinced, really, by all of us, that their pain isn't valid. And it's just as simple as that. So I think that, it's just so ironic when people judge people that have already gone, because it's just like, hello, that's why they left. Like, it makes sense that people would go. There's a lot of mental illness, and we're all learning about that. Even scientists don't know how to treat mental illness, because it's part of us, like, awakening as a spiritual being. And so however people choose to process that awakening is their own choice, and they have every right to experience what they're experiencing. And I think just realizing, like, the reason I'm still here is because, it just kind of clicked. Like, I realized, oh, like, my weakness is my strength. So if I'm gonna stay and feel the pain, I'm gonna validate it, and I'm going to validate it for other people, because that's why people leave, is because it's not validated and it's seen as a weakness instead of a strength. I think people that have mental illness that stay, I mean, each day, I mean, if they go or stay, it's just each day that they're staying, like, that proves how strong they are. And it makes sense that people leave. And you just, people can only be worn down for so long. And whether we want to really shed some light on that or not is up to us. But I think when people are judging people that have suicidal tendencies, it's because they too feel that way, but they also feel like they can't talk about it and they don't understand it, because I think they just decide to not, put themselves in that emotion and feel it and have compassion for that feeling. And it's just kind of, slap a Band-Aid over it and brush it off. And it's not really dissected and shed light on, because it just feels like we can't talk about it. And I feel like I'm still here so that I can talk about it. And I feel like I really need to. And part of me is just like, well, what do you have to lose, kind of a thing. And it just really makes sense why people choose to do the things they do. And I just can't judge people anymore for doing that.